For hundreds of years, we have been trying to find out who we are, and above any other definition that comes to mind, we are animals. We are animals with behavior which is more changeable than most mammalian species. In terms of consumption, we have shown a considerable plasticity, eating leaves and fruit like gorillas, tubers in the worst times like boars, and carrion under even more drastic circumstances like hyenas, to later move on to eating à la carte, taming nature. The ecological paleo footprint, the origin. This domestication has had and will have a price that can be seen in our changing planet. Changes in biodiversity, in the occupation of surface area, in the composition of air and water. If we want to know why we are leaving such a deep imprint on our planet, first we have to understand why we behave as we do. One indicator of the human impact on the Earth is the ecological footprint. We can estimate the consumption of resources by our species and the deficit that is being produced in relation to the ability of the planet to replenish these resources and absorb the waste that we produce. While the origin of this footprint is usually considered to be at the beginning of the industrial age, our experience has led us somewhat beyond this to the first archaeological evidence of the domestication of plants and animals, slightly less than 10,000 years ago. Finding the source of the ecological footprint is part of an arduous investigation undertaken by a team of paleobiologists from the Andalusian Historical Heritage Institute, the IAPH, and the Pablo de Olavide University. This work is based on the study of archaeological waste sites located in the southwest of Andalusia. It is what we call the ecological paleo footprint. Life begins with nourishing oneself. In mammals, teeth are the best identity document of each species, and from their shape and number you can know the place that you occupy in the food chain. A grass eater needs mowing teeth, while the meat eater needs fewer teeth, but they must be sharp as scissors with hooks to catch prey. And between the two, herbivores and carnivores, we find a range of opportunists prepared to eat the daily special, be it plant or animal, the omnivores. Humans are closer to grass eaters than to meat eaters according to our current features. We have a small mouth with which we cannot catch prey. We can digest plant sugars because we have an enzyme, amylase. And our teeth are designed for cutting plants and grinding grains. On the other hand, we are a species with fangs, which seems to place us closer to the carnivores. Let's see what good these fangs are in humans. Our primary teeth erupt in the same order as in other primates. However, only in human children at the age of 6, when baby teeth begin to be replaced by permanent teeth, do fangs grow before the second molars. This may indicate that humans are more carnivorous than other primates. As we shall see, this would allow us further development of memory and creativity. Eating forage does not seem to spur development, but eating meat requires a great deal of agility. What are the first signs of humans as a very opportunistic animal? In the Pleistocene deposits of Orce in Granada, paleontologists have found a small mammoth without its hindquarters. The explanation given by paleontologists is that those legs were taken away by other scavengers, not by vultures or hyenas. The question was resolved when the researchers found cuts produced by an instrument in some of the mammoth bones. Our ancestors used sharp stones to quickly dismember the carcass before they would have to needlessly face vultures, hyenas, and wild boars. They found a place among the scavengers, and with their problem-solving creativity, a path that would require a lot of sugar to maintain such a resourceful brain. The intake of meat and offal, especially marrow, provides two essential fatty acids that increase neural connections and our power of resolution. It is what has allowed us to increase memory and creativity to make tools. Hence, intelligent hunters are carnivores and fast prey herbivores. This rapid change in our behavior has led us to an increase in population. We are the species that has left the largest footprint on Earth. Simply put, we are eating it up. This is due to the best of all our inventions or discoveries, domestication. It allows us to continue using the two basic sources of resources, plants and animals, and we produce surplus food to prevent the hunger that haunts us from 5 million years ago. But it is also bringing us to the next big problem to solve: the depletion of the planet's resources. Our population has grown tremendously in the last few millennia, always associated with the proliferation of fields of crops and livestock. We have exterminated more species in less time than any other non-catastrophic cause. And at the same time, we have created an interesting effect. We produce more diversity in certain species than natural selection. While there are about 30 varieties of wolves in the world, we have created more than 700 breeds of dogs alone. So when we are accused of ending biodiversity, actually the accusation should be that of spreading this diversity to the 14 animal and 5 plant species that we manipulate in order to sustain, according to the FAO, the nearly 7 billion humans alive today. We have become manipulators of our surroundings to stabilize the growth cycles of these species, the summum of our restless brain, though it has only been when nature has allowed us. The serious problem is that all these animals that we produce outside of the natural way must be fed. The only way to obtain more herbage or more productive plants is to increase soil nutrients through fertilization. It seems that we have been doing this for at least 8,000 years in the southwest of the Iberian Peninsula. Our team of researchers has found that the size of goats, cattle, and pigs from the southwest of the Iberian Peninsula has increased in the last 8,000 years, while the size of deer and rabbits, two wild herbivores in this area, has experienced a reduction throughout the Holocene. The only thing that can explain why the herbivores have different responses to the same environment is the action of an agent that has fed the former: farmers. In many excavations from the Neolithic to the Bronze Ages, not only in Andalusia, we can find fields full of holes and ditches, which, among other uses, could serve as compost bins, where compost is produced or directly sown with seeds after being filled with some herbage and bones. Other structures found in these places are ditches several meters in length and depth, which contain nothing more than soil and which could be the equivalent to modern indoor troughs, where hay is stored to feed livestock during both summer and winter. This discovery of fertilization and silage, preserving fodder to feed the cattle in adverse conditions, has made us large in number, but also it especially reinforces the idea that we are herbivores who want to sink our teeth into a piece of meat that will make us stronger, bigger, and more creative.